안녕하세요, 원다입니다.
I also want to congratulate Min on creating a great romantic hero in Hansu. He is Heathcliff, the Scarlet Pimpernel, Mr. Darcy, Rhett Butler, all rolled into one with a gangster twist. And the real reason that I'm here is that even though I know he is a fictional character, I was hoping that maybe I would get to meet him.
이민진 작가의 소설 파친코의 주인공 한수를 만날 수 있을까 하는 희망으로 이곳에 왔다고 말하고 있는 이 사람은 바로 미국 35대 대통령 존 F 케네디의 딸입니다. 그는 히스클리프 스칼렛 핀퍼넬, 피츠 윌리엄 다시, 레드 버틀러를 언급하며 이들 4명이 다 들어가 있는 듯한 한 인물이 파친코의 주인공 고한수라고 말합니다. 불멸의 사랑을 우울하면서도 아름답게 묘사해 독자들로 하여금 숱한 눈물을 흘리게 한 폭풍의 언덕의 남자 주인공 히스클리프. 프랑스의 공포 정권에 의해 감옥에 갇힌 사람들을 구출해내는 비밀결사대의 수장이자 영웅인 스칼렛 핀퍼넬. 훤칠한 키와 잘생긴 얼굴, 하지만 차가운 인상의 부유한 상속자, 오만과 편견의 남자 주인공인 피츠 윌리엄 다시. 거만하고 마초적인 남자의 대표적인 인물, 바람과 함께 사라지다의 남자 주인공 레트 버틀러. 이 4명을 하나로 모으면 탄생되는 캐릭터가 바로 이민진 작가의 파친코 주인공 고한수라고 캐롤라인 케네디는 말하고 있습니다. 한수를 만날 수 있을까 하는 희망으로 이곳에 왔다고 말하는 그녀의 표정은 마치 사랑 앞에 수줍어하는 10대 소녀를 연상케 합니다. 그녀의 표정이 모든 것을 말해주기에 청중들의 공감은 웃음을 터뜨립니다. 그녀가 파친코 이야기를 얼마나 좋아하는지에 대해 사람들과 공유하고 싶어서 스스로 북 페스티벌에 찾아왔다는 캐롤라인 케네디의 소감을 들어봅시다. 함께 보시죠.
I actually invited myself here today because I wrote a fan letter to Min Jin Lee and asked if I could come and tell everyone how much I loved Pachinko. That I found that reading fiction was really one of the best ways to get beyond the State Department protocol and begin to understand that intense and complicated society. Pachinko really represents a breakthrough portrayal of an invisible society within a society, which is the Korean community in Japan. The book begins with the sentence, "History has failed us, but no matter." That's one of the most succinct summaries of the human impact of the 20th century legacy of colonialism and war that still fuels tensions in Northeast Asia, including the current crisis with North Korea. Hostility, mistrust, and interdependence between China, Korea, Japan, and now the United States has existed for centuries. Reducing those tensions is a top strategic priority for the United States and probably the number one issue for American ambassadors to the region. But as we try to develop policy, governments too often overlook the human impact of generational conflicts and discrimination. That's why this book is so compelling. It illuminates the systemic discrimination suffered by 3 generations of a Korean family in Japan, while showing the power of individual love and loyalty to overcome unimaginable obstacles and tragedy. And even though Japan is unwelcoming to foreigners in its own particular and complex ways, Pachinko has lessons for America, too, as Sue Ellen said, as we debate our history and our contemporary attitude towards immigration. But the really wonderful thing about this book is not its exploration of the comparative xenophobia of America and Japan. It's the complex humanity of its characters, the way the author describes the suffering they cause each other while remaining sympathetic to all of them, the love and sacrifice of parents for their children, the powerlessness and strength of women, and the struggle across generations that all families experience but rarely can elevate into a universal story. As a reader, I had the feeling I was immersed in a 19th century novel, inhabiting a world I didn't want to leave, with characters that made me look differently at people in my own daily life and the struggles that they may be facing. And finally, in case you think I'm not making this book sound like a fun summer read, I also want to congratulate Min on creating a great romantic hero in Hansu. He is Heathcliff, the Scarlet Pimpernel, Mr. Darcy, Rhett Butler, all rolled into one with a gangster twist. And the real reason that I'm here is that even though I know he is a fictional character, I was hoping that maybe I would get to meet him. I don't want to say any more, but everyone who I've given this book to here and in Japan loves it as much as I do. And it's my pleasure to introduce the author, Min-Jin Lee.
어떻게 해서 이 소설은 먼나라 한국 역사와 한국인의 이야기로 서양인들의 마음을 사로잡게 되었을까요? 그 이유는 워싱턴 DC에서 열린 2018 국회도서관 북페스티벌 파친코 토론에서 알 수 있습니다. 역사 토론을 한 가족사를 중심으로 풀어나감으로써 부모나 형제자매 등과 같은 각 캐릭터의 입장에 독자들이 스스로 이입되고 몰입되도록 함으로써 자연스럽게 캐릭터를 둘러싸고 있는 역사적 배경을 경험하고 각 캐릭터에 대한 친밀감과 연민을 느끼게 한 것이 이 책의 성공 비결이라고 말합니다.
But I also want all of us to experience what it's like to be that character. And this is what fiction does. I think we can identify with people who look nothing like us, who don't have our experiences. People have often asked me, do you identify with Sanja? And I have to say, not really. Right? I mean, you and I have privileges that are so extraordinary compared to a person like this.
Right.
And yet, you enter into another experience, like as a parent, you enter into it, or as a sister, you enter into it. And I think that's really important.
Well, and I think that's why making a historical novel like this a family story as well is what then makes it possible for us to understand across
so.
generations and across historical eras and across class lines and race lines and everything else. Because this is a woman who's trying to make things work for her family and the people she loves, and that's something we can pretty much all identify with. Now I'm going to cry. So.
이민진 작가는 파친코라는 작품을 통해 세계인들에게 한국을 둘러싼 역사적 사실 및 한국인들의 이야기를 알게 했을 뿐만 아니라 한국어를 배워야만 지식인이라고 자부할 수 있다는 마음이 들도록 만들었는데요. 그녀는 서양 문학 작품 속에 등장하는 라틴어 문구나 프랑스어 문구의 예를 들며 글로벌 사회에서 지식인이라면 당연히 한국어는 어느 정도 알아야만 한다고 단호하게 말합니다. 그게 바로 그녀가 파친코에 한국어를 의도적으로 포함시킨 이유라고 말하죠.
We literally have 1 minute left. Do you have a short question that requires a short answer?
Okay. I hope mine is short. I wanted to ask, what subtleties of Korean language, or rather, in work that I've done in translation, I've found that there are some things that are hard to render in English in their full capacity. What were some of the challenges you faced when translating these Korean voices into English?
Can I add a follow-up, just because my question was very similar to that? I liked how you chose to use certain Korean words throughout the book without actually defining them, but I felt that I knew what they were when I was reading them, and I thought that was an incredible literary tool that you use. And
Okay, she's got to answer it.
wanted to know why you chose those words and how you chose them.
So
got
those
30
questions
seconds.
are definitely paired, and thank you. So I found that in my interviews, I often try to replicate the voices that I heard. But because I work like a wannabe journalist, I'm constantly trying to understand the meter and rhyme of the way people talk. So that's one. And then secondly, to answer your question, I chose the words which I believe that we global citizens should know about Korean. In the same way, when I went to law school, I learned Latin phrases like res ipsa loquitur. Or when I read 19th century novels, there are French phrases that I needed to learn if I wanted to know that in the Russian court, the diplomatic language is French. So in order to be an educated person of a certain view, we had to know certain phrases in European languages. I am positing in an almost an obnoxious way, with great audacity, that you should know some Korean.
이미진 작가의 말처럼 이제 지식인이라면 한국어는 어느 정도 알아야 진정한 지식인이라고 자부할 수 있는 시대가 온 것 같습니다. BTS와 K-POP 덕분에 한국어를 좀 알아야 시대를 따라가는 쿨한 사람이라고 불릴 수 있는 것처럼 말이죠. 여러분의 생각은 어떠신가요? 시청해주셔서 감사합니다. 원다였습니다.